Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Adrian with another release for Avo. Today we're releasing 3.2, so let's get into it. We've updated many of our dependencies. These were mostly development dependencies, so no worries on that. Desmond had a look on how we do our auto loading, eager loading, and cleaned a few things up. So now things are just, the code base is just a little bit better. So thank you so much, Desmond, for throwing another pair of eyes on it. Bug fixes belongs to row form layout. So yeah, we introduced a bug a while back where we added a new div on top of a belongs to, and that messed up the layout, as you can see right here. Now that's fixed. Thank you so much, Paul. VR resource class on belongs to field. Again, what was this? So we were missing a param, so now we are not missing that param. So we have a better, Avo knows a little bit better when you're trying to create a has many, it knows where to go back. You know, the age-old story about the back button, and now this is better. Main panel extraction. Let's see what is this. Yeah, so we had this bug where if you did some operations like declare some fields filterable, you would get some things double. So for example, here you could get to country, to stage, to status filterable, and then there were a few other related bugs. And now because we were extracting the fields wrong from the main panel, but now that is fixed, so you don't have to worry about that. We changed some links from the docs. Allow all characters on text fields. Yes, it seems this was a bug about encoding where some characters weren't working, especially Japanese ones, but now those are fixed. Thanks for reporting. Tabs visibility. Yep, we had a bug as well. The tabs were becoming invisible at some point. Now they are not, so it's all good. Dynamic filters. We need to improve our naming, but set applied filters should ignore dynamic. Yep, another nasty edge case bug, which was very deep. That's fixed. Search for current user. I believe, yes, the wrong method was being called in search controller, so the current user wasn't the proper object, but now it is. Ransack configuration. Let's see this one. So this is in dynamic filters. Okay. Basically, yep, there was a bug with ransack. And now it's fixed. So if you're using dynamic fields, this should be good. Dashboard's eager load. Okay, yeah, this is a remnant of what Desmond cleaned up. So now this is fixed. It shouldn't impact you anymore. Status field dynamic filter missing some options. I made this. Okay, cool. So what was happening was, let's have a look at Avo demo again. So when you have a status field like this one, it's like this one. So you can have a few, let's open up the docs. You can have some, where is it? Some options, status. Okay, cool. So you have the failed when, the loading when, and success when. So basically when you configure this field, you tell it, okay, I want this to be displayed as failed whenever it encounters these options. It's as success when it's these options, and loading when it's these options. So, and then the rest would just fall back to neutral. But the problem was that whenever you were trying to use a filter, so you made this status a filterable filter, if you had anything that wasn't in these three categories, fail, loading, and success, so basically everything that was neutral, you wouldn't see those options here just because the filter doesn't know where to get them. And now what we did was, and we have to document it, now what we did was added a neutral when. So basically it's another option. Let me just pick this and put it here. Language, Ruby. Come on. So it's field language, Ruby. Yep. So basically now you can do neutral when, and you can say whatever, neutral on hold, whatever, right? You can write your own, and then you would have these two options available in the drop down as well. So now that's a better quality of life improvement. So yeah, thank you, Paul from Greenheads, for reporting this. Another typo, action authorized variables, direct access to view resource. Yep. So we introduced a while back, we introduced this authorize, let's see, actions overview, and we have this authorization. We introduced this authorize block where you can set the authorization on a resource, on an action. It's a little bit different from the visible. The visible just hides it, but if somebody knows the link, they can go to that link. And maybe, and this is not a bug, this is actually a feature, you can open up that action in different places. So basically, the authorize block didn't have the view, where is it? The view and the resource, and didn't have the view object, and now it does, so it's easier for you to use it. Apply filters when filters are dynamic. This is another, probably, that one of those deep ones. Yes, we basically weren't checking out if the filters are a string or not, and now they are. We do check that, and so that's good. Belongs to index field name. Let's see this one. Okay, so we had a hard-coded value on belongs to. I think that's on me, maybe. I think so. Yes. So now it's not. It's gonna be dynamic as we wanted. We have a flaky data. Actually, we have a few flaky tests. If you know how to fix these nasty flaky tests that include JavaScript, please get in touch with us. We'd love to get some help on this. Arguments on action control. Let's check it out. Customizable controls action. Okay, sorry. Where is it? Customizable control action. So now you can pass arguments to your action whenever you want to do it in anywhere in your controls. So before you could say like action and whatever, you can say style or color, so you can style up that button. But now you can pass in arguments as well. So you can use those arguments inside an action and do some things with that action. Display some fields, hide some fields, do something with in the handle method, and that helps you because you can reuse that same action in different places, in different resources. So you can just tell it like, okay, this time I want it like this time like this, and you can just use those arguments. Durable and bookmarkable states. Yeah, this is a cool one. So what was happening before, let's go to a user maybe. Okay, so we have these two tab groups. If you navigate to people, and here you navigate to comments, and you hit edit, and then you hit cancel, these would not have been durable. So they would go back to themes, this one, and the first one would go back to main post because that's the first version. That was the first item in the group. But now we are using local storage, and we are holding in the browser window which tab was accessed. More than that, whenever you click a tab, you get this nice param appended to your URL. So whenever you give it to somebody else, whenever you give it to somebody else, they will have that tab focused. Okay, so this is a cool little addition. One thing you have to keep in mind, where is it? Tabs. Okay, durable and bookmarkable. For it to be truly durable and bookmarkable, sometimes you might have to give it an ID. So you have to give it like some random ID, unique ID. So basically, we know that it's that tab group. We will assign by default like the index of this. So it's going to be the second one. This is the first one, the third one actually. So it's 0, the main panel, then this is 1, and this is 2. but sometimes these get messed up. Like if you go into edit, this one will be like if you don't have the number one, the ID with number one, the index with number one, this one would be number one, and then whatever. So if you want them bookmarkable and durable, just add some ID to the tabs, to the tab group. Cool. Better feature. So better error for missing resource. Oh my God. So thank you so much. Again, I don't know how to spell your name. Just, get in touch with me. It's Brichu, Brichard, whatever. Thank you so much. This is just amazing. This has been a pain point for us actually and for our users. So what was happening before? If you, for example, generate a user model, and then you think, okay, I want a resource. I want like user has many posts or whatever, and you generate a post resource for some, actually a post model, and you don't generate the resource, and you try to add that field with the post, like a user has many posts, it would just you would just get an error like undefined some method on nil. And that was because we couldn't, like Avo couldn't find that posts resource because it wasn't created beforehand. Right? So this happens in old apps. So actually in existing apps where people add Avo. In newer apps, whenever you generate a model, you also get a resource. So that's going to be, very helpful for you. But in existing apps, if you didn't have a resource for a certain model, but you try to use a field, it would just give you like a super, bad error. But now it will give you this amazing error. Where is it? And it will tell you like fail to find a resource while rendering the X field, the location field. You may generate a resource by running the other alternative you use, and you go to the doc. So this is a much better error than what we had before, and this goes throughout like many like fields, field configuration associations, like regular index pages. So in many places. So this just makes Avo a better experience developer. It brings a better developer experience to Avo. And we are planning to introduce even more of these things, like more help for errors, more helpers, and we're even thinking about building a VS Code extension. If you ever built a VS Code extension, and ideally if it was like a Prism, maybe plugin or something like Prism where it could read the configuration, just get in touch with us. I would love to build something that would help you in real time whenever you type your resource configuration to tell you something like, okay, like you cannot declare this inside of this, or this like, field option does not exist, or you have to declare it like this. And, so things like that. I would really love to be able to have that kind of intelligence inside your IDE. So get in touch with us if you ever built one. If not, we're going to build it, but it's going to take a while. So again, thank you so much, Preachu. You have our love and admiration for building all of this. This is not your first commit to first contribution to Avo, but thank you so much. We really appreciate it. This is release 3.2.0, but we'll have another one because we're playing around with Turbo 8, and accidentally we just merged that in, and now we're reverting that. So just look around for 3.2.1. And that's going to be just fine. What have we been doing otherwise? So first of all, I know we had this Avo 2 to Avo 3 subscription upgrade debacle. Now we just took a stance, and the last week all I did was accounting, I call it. So we moved all the accounts from one Stripe account to the new Stripe account because we changed the company and we cannot use the same Stripe account. So now basically we upgraded all the Avo 2 subscriptions, all the Avo 2 Pro to Avo 3 Pro, keeping them on the same price. So it's not going to be increased to $350. It's still going to be $249 what you signed up for. So you're going to have Avo 3 Pro. If you had an Avo 2 Pro license, you just go into the new Avo HQ, you log in, you might need to reset your password, and then you go to this licenses page and click and this will say new license or something like that, and you click that and you configure it, and you'll get the new gem, you'll get the gem server key, you'll get the token, so you'll be able to use Avo Pro without paying anything extra. We haven't charged your credit card yet. It will be charged whenever the subscription would have ended for Avo 2. So from your point of view, everything just works as expected. everybody that had an Avo 2 license has received an email with all of this information and even more. So please check your email from us. Next, we have been cleaning up the issues list. So we have these projects. Let me open up the roadmap in incognito. I don't know why this is here. We don't have any hidden items. This is just a bug. So basically you can check out the new roadmap. What we did was go through all of the obscure tasks that we just found. Like we find a bug, we just come in here, create new, this doesn't work when you click this or whatever. And that's very obscure, and we cleaned them up and we created issues for everything. So now if you go into our issues queue, you might notice that the number has increased from 100 to 160. This is because we added so many new features, so many ideas that people had from the past, and now we added new labels. So if you want to get, if you want to help, there's the help wanted. You'll have 70 of these, and of course you can have what is it? Good first issue. So good first issue. So again, this combination gives you like 20 PRs that you could work on. So if you have some spare time, if you want to contribute to open source, if you want to improve your skills in an existing database that has documentation and tests and everything else, definitely this is the place to go. So most of these issues have an approach of how we would do it. If they don't, get in touch with us. We'd love to fill that in. So if it's something that you'd love to work on, definitely try these two labels, help wanted and good first issue. So this is what we did for the past week. So accounting, moving the accounts, upgrading everybody from Avo 2 to Avo 3. Next, cleaning the issues. And there was one more thing that happened last week. Let me just find it. This amazing PR. Oh, sorry, it's not this one. Oh my God. It's another one, 796. This amazing PR has been merged. So Avo is the default admin panel in Bullet Train. This brings me so much joy because it just means that there's this interoperability between everybody in the Ruby community. And like Lucian always says, and I've seen this on Twitter as well, a rising tide brings up all the boats, right? Or whatever you call it. So we should all support each other. And I know we're always, having this, existential crisis about, Ruby is dying, Rails is dying, whatever, nobody uses it, or, but if we all contribute to the same, like the community, and we all try to bring the community up, it's going to help all of us. So I love that this is happening. The Bullet Train guys, folks, don't have to, spend more time to build their own, but they have a good thing going. So yeah, I just love this. So it's a good Christmas present for Avo and the team. So what's up next for us? So it's Christmas. We're probably, going to lower our, output for this period. We're gonna enjoy the downtime, time away with family. We'll be on the channels, responding to things, but we won't be doing any, high intensity active work on everything. So that's one thing. One thing that I want to focus on more, I hoped that I would be able to do this to deliver in December, but I couldn't because, the upgrades, the other things that came up. I want to work on the theming issue, the theming feature as again, and we are thinking about experimenting with 4-week work cycles or 6-week work cycles. So instead of doing this every 2 weeks as we're doing it right now, we are trying to do it. We're going to try and see how it goes with 4 weeks and 6 weeks. And the motivation for this is that the release process, this takes a lot. Like it takes, sometimes it takes half of my day, our day actually. So it's 2 people, half of 2 days, because we want to make sure that everything is released properly, all the proper PRs are in, the release notes are fine. I have to do this recording and yada yada yada, and we have to post then on send the newsletter, post on Twitter, post on LinkedIn, whatever. It's a freaking hassle, and just shortening this thing off, it will give us more time to work on this, to work on Avo. And the second reason is it will give us a little bit more of a runway, let's call it, more time to work on meaningful features. We've been taking a step back and noticing that in the past, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 or 7 releases, we haven't haven't shipped anything like substantial. We shipped a lot of features, a lot of cool stuff. It definitely helps Avo, but it's not anything substantial like theming or, a different view type or, improved dashboards, because we haven't had the time to sit down, just think about things, play around, experiment with things. And that period of experimentation, that's when we come up with like great features and great improvements for the product. So giving ourselves 4 weeks instead of 2, it's not gonna make us, okay, it's Monday, because what we do is like on Monday, we check the release note, whatever we have in the release notes right now, we check the active PRs and we just go in a hurry about, okay, let's merge everything, let's make sure everything works together, yada yada yada, like the test and everything. And now having a longer release cycle is just gonna allow us to think more on what we do a little bit more deeper. So that doesn't mean that we're not going to have any releases between the 4 or 6 weeks, but it's going to be like now, like if we have a bug fix, okay, we'll ship it in 3.2.1. If in a week we have another thing, okay, 3.2.2, and so we'll release patch versions, patch increments. So yeah, if you have any ideas about that, if you have any feedback, any worries, definitely come to us. We'd love to hear your feedback, but this is what we're thinking for the new year. The next release should be on January 2nd. We probably won't do it. We'll see if we have something to release then, as we won't work that much. But if we do, we'll definitely release something. Lucian from Short Ruby Newsletter and I are trying to build something. We don't know exactly what, but we need your help. We need somebody that has a little bit of a tech background, but also a marketing background, and who enjoys marketing things, enjoys testing strategies and seeing where the customers are, and tweaking the copy and doing the things that actually me and him, we don't know that much. Not only that we don't enjoy it, we don't know how to do it. So we're looking for somebody that's a little bit techie and a little bit marketingy. We don't have a job description, but if you know about somebody like that would like to get involved in a project, definitely reach out to us. We would love to talk to them. If you go to Super Rails, or if you go to friendly.show, you'll see the newest episode of me, Yaro, and Mariusz from Warsaw, from Visuality, speaking about how the Ruby community in Poland and how he becomes CTO, and the cool things that they have done in the past and they are doing now with education and other thing in the Ruby community. So definitely a very cool episode. So go subscribe to the Friendly Show. It's on Buzzsprout. You just you go and subscribe on any platform that you want to listen to it. It's going to be cool. And Yaro and I were going to have our last episode for this year. We're gonna close off the season. We're going to talk about what we did this year, the conference season, what we're grateful for, how is dead life for each of us, and what we're thinking about the new year. So if you're one of those 2 or 3 people that are subscribed to our podcast, definitely new cool things are coming. If you're not, we can have 2 more subscribers. That's no problem. Speaking of podcasts, I've been to the Indie Rails podcast and spoke with Jeremy and Jess about how I became a developer and how I started building Avo and where we are right now and what was the journey of Avo. So if you're, an indie developer, struggling indie developer, if you're thinking about doing this, you're definitely going to find out a few of the secrets that I shared here about Avo and Friendly. Code with Jason podcast, I've been there as well, and I had a very cool talk. You know how it is with Code with Jason podcast. You never talk about something, you talk about something else, and that's just great. I think that's about it for today. This will be the last release of the year, the last big release of the year. I hope you enjoy the ride as we did this year. It was one of the less stressful years out of this whole journey. but it was very fruitful because we were able to ship Avo 3, we were able to maintain Avo 2 continuously, and we brought so many cool features, so many new things, and we are just seeing how the community just sprouts up and gets so much value out of Avo. So we are very grateful for all our customers and all our users that use Avo in their daily workflows, and hopefully the next year will be twice as good. Thank you so much for being an awesome community member. I wish you have a very nice end of year, nice holidays with your family, with your friends, with your pets, and we'll see each other in events in real life, or on the channels in the next following year. Thank you so much for being here and for being an awesome community member. Adrian out.